Hey guys, 65 here. I wanted to show you guys something. So we've all seen this. Somebody lift up their rear hatch. In this case is a trunk, hatchback. But we've all seen this. Tired shocks where somebody has to use a stick or something. Pull out a stick to hold it up. Because your shocks are just too weak to actually hold up the rear gate anymore. This one, the shocks have been about the same for years. A little weak, not the best, but so years ago I came up with something after another vehicle. I had a Jeep Cherokee, got me pretty good on the head. I used to carry around a big stick, and every time you'd open it, if you grab something, you get out the stick. If you needed it to stay open, you get out the stick and you prop it up, and hopefully you didn't knock it out. I've seen people do it on hoods of cars, using shovels to prop up the hood of a car before. But years ago, I came up with this. Let me show you. You'll notice right here is a lift strut. Lift shock, strut, whatever you want to call it. What I do when these get worn out is this. This is just a piece of PVC that'll actually slide down and it locks. The trunk is completely self-reliant. Will not fall on you. Now to shut it, I do have to just align that hole again, and then you can actually shut it. Now, because these shocks aren't completely gone, and they do have some lifting capabilities, and a lot of times, usually it's just when it's really cold or it's really hot, they stop not wanting to hold up the trunk. Because right now it'll actually hold up the trunk pretty good by itself. The trunk lid, the hatchback. But I actually also make a retainer so it'll stay up here on the body of the strut by itself. And one of the reasons I came up with this also, instead of buying new ones, I know, just go buy new ones, is this one right here. On the Jeep Cherokee, I spent $60, $70 on 2 new struts that actually only lasted a year and a half. This was years and years ago. So they lasted a year and a half. You know, the old one, this tired one still has a ton of pressure in it, but junk. After a year and a half, I was back to where I started with a stick again. That's where this comes in. Let me show you how I do this and how it works. First thing you need to do is just hold your trunk all the way open and find out the measurement from here to here. Find out what that is and give yourself about 1/8 of an inch or so. So that's what I've done with this. Okay? Then what you want to do is actually remove your shock. Strut, shock, whatever. Usually one side will just pop off, and generally that's all you need to remove is just one side. There we go. One side just popped off like this. Now I can take a piece of PVC and just cut it to the length I need. This one just happens to be 9 7/8. But what the next step I do is I actually also take a saw and I will cut through. I did not cut through all the way. I cut through maybe 1/3 of the way. I tried it a couple different times, and then I have an O-ring here that slips down, and then I'll see if you guys can see through it. You'll notice that it protrudes in a little bit, and what that does is that rubs on my side because I don't want it falling every time. The first time I did it, I just have it fall every time, but if you're just lifting up the trunk to grab one thing, sometimes it's annoying. You got something in your hand and it locks. But I've had this one on this car for, I want to say, probably 5 or 6 years now, and it works great. So that's it. I cut a piece of PVC, sits up there, you reinstall your strut. So to do a typical open, I would just open it up, reach over, kick that down. If yours is so bad, you don't have to put that little groove in there, and this will just automatically, every time you pick it up, every time you pick it up, it'll just slide into place, lock. You do have to lift that up to get it to come back down, but then you're back down and closed. There are a couple different models of struts. Well, if you got one like this, you'll notice that there's no way you can actually slide a piece of PVC over, but most of these things actually screw off. So you can actually just screw off one end like that, and then you could slip a piece of PVC over on either side. This side will actually screw off too. Let's say they worn out hood hinges as well. you could do the exact same thing on a hood hinge. So I would just hold it open, I'd get that measurement, give myself roughly a 1/16 of an eighth of an inch. I would just slide it over, and then every time I lifted up the hood, I could use it there. That's it, guys. Hopefully somebody out there in YouTube land finds that helpful. Hey, if you haven't already, leave a comment below or give me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't. Thanks, guys. See you soon. Bye.